What's up YouTube? I'm Danielle, and this is Kitchen Optimist. I'm a novice cook, but expert eater, taking on recipes that scare the sugar out of me 1 teaspoon at a time. Speaking of tea, that tea kettle is actually being used right now because the recipe I'm doing today calls for 1/4 cup of coffee. What is this caffeinated treat, you might be wondering? Except probably not, because I'm sure I put it in the title. Well, today I'm making chocolate mousse. Anything floaty or airy or puffy always seems intimidating to me. And the fact that I've only ever had it at a restaurant contributes to that too. It looks pretty easy, but I have thought that before. My husband loves chocolate, although he is lactose intolerant, so this will be dangerous for him. Plus, we're having people over for dinner tonight, so I will not be left to consume the thousands of calories from the 6 portions that this makes. I'm not a huge chocolate person, but I do like rich. I do like creamy. And this has a whole bunch of heavy cream in it, plus a little dollop of that whipping cream on the top at the end. So what can go wrong? The recipe I'm using comes from the Recipe Critic, and it'll be linked in the description below. I've never used any of her recipes before. This one has 680 likes, and I'm not really sure why else I chose this one over other ones. I also took these here large eggs out. She says they should come out about 30 minutes before you plan on using them. I did it about 5 minutes ago. By the time I'm done with the other combinations, hopefully we'll be at that 30 minutes. While this steeps, I'm going to prep the rest of my ingredients. I'm using 6 ounces of quality chocolate, eventually finely chopped. I'm not entirely convinced this has to be super finely chopped because I'm melting it, but the finer the chop, the more even the melt. Okay, is this the finest it could be chopped? No, but my hand is cramping up and I'm going to melt it anyway. So I'm just gonna call this semi-fine in terms of chop, or demi-fine, as Kristen Cavallari calls her gold-plated jewelry. All right, my eggs have been out closer to the 20-minute mark, but we're working with what we got. We just need egg yolks for this, so I'm gonna save the egg whites so my husband can turn it into a tasteless breakfast. Nope. Behind me, I'm heating water for a double boiler. Well, I guess a makeshift double boiler. I don't have a double boiler, so I'm using a pot of water with a metal bowl on top of it. Cup-and-a-half of whipping cream. We've combined 1/4 cup of probably weak coffee, 1/4 cup of sugar, and the egg yolks. And now we're whisking them until it's thickened, the sugar is completely combined, and it reaches 160 degrees. Okay, well we're at 170. Eggs part is done. Now we're going to combine 3 tablespoons of butter and all that chocolate I didn't quite finely chop in the microwave until it is, I don't know, combined, hot, perfectly incorporated. I think she says 10-second increments. Let's go. It took 1 minute and 20 seconds to get it to this consistency. The recipe says add the chocolate to the egg, but I'm doing the opposite because we ultimately have to add the whipped cream, and this bowl's not gonna be big enough for that, is my guess. I'm gonna call that whisk. So now this gets set aside till it comes to room temperature, and I make my whipped cream. I have a hard time distinguishing soft peak and stiff peak, but I also don't want butter. So I'm gonna say I think it is stiff peak. And get to folding. Okay. Hey Siri, how do you get chocolate out of clothes? All right, we're back, wearing new jeans. We'll see if ProHousekeeper.com knows what they're talking about when it comes to chocolate stain removal. So now 1/3 of the whipped cream, and I fold it in. And now I fold this into this. I think my goal is to get this to a place where there are no dark or light streaks. It's just sort of like one uniform color. So that is what I'm gonna use as my stopping point. These things always intimidate me because it feels like a very ambiguous yet specific line that you're not supposed to cross. Ambiguous in that it is subjective, specific in that you cross it and you're doomed. We are looking like chocolate butter creamy. Feels good to me. We're typing it into 6 4-ounce vessels. I only have 4. For the other 2, I'm going to use these just adorable Moroccan-inspired tea glasses that a friend of mine bequeathed to me when he moved across the country. Cheers to you, Dan. And for the transferring of this to the Ziploc bag, I'm going to put on an apron. So I do not want to sacrifice one more pair of jeans to the chocolate mousse gods. Uh-oh, surprise whipped cream there at the bottom. Kind of need a third hand. Well, looky here. I don't know if the fact that it's staying like that means I did something wrong, but it's too late now. So we're just gonna go with it and do what we should always do, lick the spoon. We're cutting the corner and piping it in. I'm not exactly sure why I could not have just spooned it in, but I am a rule follower, and this currently looks like soft serve ice cream or piles of poo. You'll be able to see it here. Oh man, oh. Okay, they're not the most picturesque still. Since it doesn't explicitly say that the plastic wrap should touch the top, I'm not doing that. So we'll see if that's a mistake in about 4 hours. Now into the fridge these go for the pivotally important step of setting for 4 hours. See you soon. All right, it's definitely set. Some whipped cream for serving. A little extra whipped cream for serving. She puts a raspberry and a mint leaf as a part of her presentation. That wasn't a part of my journey for today. It looks like mousse. Tastes like mousse. I wonder if I might make it a little less sweet the next time. It's good. It's really good. I didn't put any sweetener in the whipping cream, so it balances out the sweetness of the chocolate really nicely. Yeah, this is going into the rotation. This was so successful that I'm now mad at the amount of money that I've paid for chocolate mousse at restaurants, because to me, what makes something restaurant price worthy is the factor of, oh, I could never make that at home. And madam, I certainly could. And I did. And I'm so thankful it's good, since I don't seem to be capable of following the direction of not making something for the first time when you have company coming over. So for total time, this took 5 hours, 43 minutes, and 15 seconds. That includes 4 hours of setting time. It's like an hour 15 of active work time of the prep piece of it, and you're gonna impress the shit out of your guests. It needs a minimum of 4 hours setting time. You could easily make it the day before. It doesn't feel like something where if you were to double the servings, it would take double the time or anything like that. Your folding time would go up. So that's really it, I think. The rest of it, I mean, chopping the chocolate, this is really good. I'm super happy with this. This has been a long day, so I am really happy to end my day with this success. This is a great dinner party dessert. So total cost ingredients, $33.54. And if you take into account the fact that you probably pay $8 for said mousse at a restaurant for one, and the price of $33.54 is for 6, it's a steal. Now granted, when you get into equipment costs, that is $252.98. I would like to point out that I didn't put the price of a KitchenAid in it because you could do it with a hand mixer, so I just included the price of a hand mixer. I did not use a hand mixer because the last time I used a hand mixer to make whipped cream, I Jackson Pollocked both myself and my prep area. But you can do it with that, so let's not pretend you need the $400 KitchenAid to do it. Plus, you likely have a lot of the equipment in your kitchen already. I like to include everything because everybody's kitchen is stocked differently. That grand total is $286.52. If you are trying to impress a date, a spouse, a friend, an in-law, a crappy family member that you only see a couple of times a year who happens to love chocolate, this is the dish for you. Try it out. Thank me later. Also thank therecipecritic.com later. I will absolutely be using some more of her recipes. I'm very excited about this. On that note, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'm Danielle. This is Kitchen Optimist, fighting the good fight for mediocre cooks everywhere. Try that thing that scares you. It might be a chocolatey masterpiece that requires very little skill, and I can't think of anything better. Don't forget, stay sweet.